Look at this. This is a ciruela. You might know it as hog plum or Spanish plum. I'm eating one right now, straight off the tree, here on my South Florida tropical fruit farm, and it is absolutely delicious. This fruit has been growing in the Americas since ancient times, from Mexico all the way down to Brazil, and yet most people in the United States have never heard of it. Today we're harvesting this tree, which is absolutely loaded with fruit right now, and then we're going to freeze dry them to preserve that incredible flavor long after the season ends. Stay tuned until the end to see the results because they surprised even me. Welcome to Garden Tropicals. Let's go. Our trees are about 10 years old, and as you can see, they're highly productive. Each tree easily produces 400 to 500 fruits each season. Depending on where you are, it goes by many names. In Mexico, Cuba, and Central America, it is called ciruela or jocote. In other areas, it is known as Spanish plum, Jamaica plum, Chili plum, scarlet plum, or hog plum. This tree is easily grown in the tropics or subtropical areas. It is a deciduous tree, so it naturally sheds all its leaves every year. The fruiting season is from May through July, and it can be easily propagated by large cuttings. The fruit comes in 3 colors. They can be either red, yellow, or orange. I find that the smallest is the red and the largest is the yellow. The fruit is small and round, probably 1 to 2 inches long. It has a waxy skin. The flesh is very juicy, and the flavor seems to combine the flavor of plums, mango, and citrus. Inside, the pulp is yellow, and it has a large seed in the center. The ripe fruit can be eaten fresh, made into jams, preserves, or juices, and some people enjoy eating the unripe fruit with lime or salt. Medicinally, the leaves have antibacterial properties and can be used to make juice for treatment of swollen glands. Also, the fruits have been known to be used as a laxative for constipation. Since this fruit has a relatively short shelf life of only 5 to 6 days after harvest, it makes it a great candidate for freeze drying. Okay, here's a nice one. See? I mean, how big are they? They're like a little bit bigger than a cherry tomato. Let me give it another bite. This is basically the seed. It's a large seed inside. All right, so I'm grabbing some more. These are some orange ones. So I have orange, I have yellow ones, I have deep red ones, and I'm taking some green ones also. I have here, it's probably about 5 pounds worth. To prepare the fruits for freeze drying, I'm going to be rinsing them in water and then slicing them thinly and removing the pit. I'm also going to be removing the fruits that are very ripe because they seem to be very watery and almost disappearing. The flesh is not very fleshy, so they're not good candidates for freeze drying. Freeze drying fruits typically can take up to 18 to 20 hours, sometimes more. There's several factors that influence the duration, such as ambient temperature, the elevation where you're located, and the humidity. I've just turned on the freeze dryer. It needs at least 15 minutes of freezing time before I can load the fruits. This is my preparation area. I have a cutting board, a knife, and 4 trays that I will be lining with parchment paper. Here I've already sliced the fruit. It's ready to be loaded into the freeze dryer, and I've separated by the different colors just to see if there's a difference in the length of time for freeze drying, depending on the color of the fruit. Here the fruits have already been loaded, and now it's just a process of waiting. Okay, over 20 hours have elapsed, and here I'm going to be checking to make sure that the fruits have dried to the consistency that I like, to the texture. I want to avoid any wetness, any fruits that feel soft. If so, then I have to add more drying time. In this case, it seems very crispy, so they're ready to set and continue the process of storage. Okay, I'm going to be stopping the freeze dryer. I'm going to put it on defrost, and I'm going to be unloading the trays and taking them over to the kitchen area so I can start storing them. The freeze drying process really helps the fruit retain its original flavor, its color, and its nutritional value. Once it's stored properly, freeze dried fruits can last a long time. The key is putting them in either mylar bags with oxygen absorbers or glass jars. Here's what a fruit looks like originally and once it's gone through the process of freeze drying. It's crunchy. Tastes good. Juicy. Sweeter. Now for the storage. I have here the oxygen absorbers, these little packages here. I have the mason jars, and I have the fruits temporarily in these nylon bags. So let me go ahead and start preparing this, and I'll show you the final outcome. This is what the final product looks like. Again, this is a smallish jar. If you're planning on storing the fruit for a long time, I recommend that you use this. If not, what I use is we typically eat our food fairly quickly. So if you're going to eat them within the next 2 to 3 weeks, you can just store them in these nylon bags, Ziploc bags that will hold them. Make sure and remove all the oxygen. Try to keep it as vacuumed as you can to retain the freshness and the crispiness. And that was it. That's all you have to do. And now we can enjoy it a little bit longer. And also, I give them away to friends and family, and they love it. You can add it to ice cream. I like to eat mine on the salads. So it's just a great snack to have. And if you like what you saw, please subscribe. Thanks. Till next time.